the engine's getting ready to roll. Gonna cruise on my bike now, music to the soul. Kicks stand up, boots are best. Ain't gonna touch down till the road comes to rest. We're riding country roads, enjoying the day. We're riding for the love of the US of A. So catch a cycle fever, don't let it slip away.
Welcome to CFTV North. We're just getting started up here in Fannin County, up in North Georgia, and tell you a little bit about Cycle Fever, the history of it. We used to be on television way back in 1999, 2000, and we took a little hiatus, and about 6 years ago my son said, "Hey Dad, why don't we kick in Cycle Fever TV again and do it on social media?" I got to tell you, I didn't know much about social media because I'm old. I'm learning every day more and more about it. But we've been going now for about 6 years in Orlando, Florida on social media. We started off doing bike adventures, and now we have branched out that we do cars, we do bikes, we do charities. We do a lot of things with the veterans. We do a lot of things for cancer and Moore's Children's Hospital. So with that being said, what we're going to try to do while we're up here in Fannin County, which I'm going to be here for however, because I moved here, we want to showcase all the different things that are out here in Fannin County and surrounding areas. So we are going to go live, like I said. We'll go live every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. I got Clyde Deering back there running the TriCaster, and we're learning as we go. When I was in Florida, I had a guy named IT John, and he did all of this stuff as far as the behind the scenes. So Clyde and I are learning on the fly. I think this is Clyde's third day on it, and he's doing pretty good. Now, what we're going to try to do is, again, showcase things that are happening around here in Fannin County and North Georgia. So if you watch this and you decide you've got something coming up, if you give us a little bit of a notice, we'll come down and we'll film it, and then we'll put it on our show. So one of the episodes we shot a while ago was something that was called the Seafood Industry Museum, and it was in Hans Christian, Mississippi, and this was before Katrina hit. So I'm not sure, but I know that when Katrina hit, it wiped everything out in that area. I don't know if they have rebuilt or not, but I'll try to find out and see if they have. But I'd like you to sit back and enjoy, and if Clyde will hit the clip number 1, let's go to the museum.
This is one of the small towns along the Mississippi Gulf Coast called Pass Christian. There are numerous towns along this coast, and almost all of them have their heritage and history based along the seafood industry, along the sea. A lot of these old-timers, they make their livings on small boats, anywhere from 15 feet to maybe 40, 50, 60-foot trawlers. They may hand-tong oysters, or they may trawl for thousands of pounds of shrimp at any one time. They may stay out 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 hours, as long as it takes for them to earn a living.
Realizing that this was a bit of a stretch for Hank, I took him to a museum to learn a little more about the seafood industry.
Hey Phil, the Seafood Industry Museum, I'll bet you I can get all the seafood I need out of here.
Not quite, but I tell you what, if we go on in, I bet we can find somebody who can tell us all about the seafood industry on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. You know, help put this place on the map.
Everything we need to know is in there?
No, the person who knows everything that we need to know is in here. Let's go.
Let's go in. Come on.
Look at all the old stuff in here, man. This place is incredible.
Look at the artifacts. This is something else. Look at this.
I love this thing. Look at this, man.
Hi, how are you today?
Oh, I'm Hank Knapp. Who are you?
I'm Robin Cron, Director of the Maritime and Seafood Industry Museum here in Biloxi.
This is my sidekick, Phil Young.
Hi, Robin. How are you? Good
Nice
to
to
see
meet you.
You're in charge of all of this?
Yes.
Wow. Tell us a little about it. This is kind of neat.
In the museum, we kind of touch on base on the crabbing industry, the shrimping industry, and the oyster industry as well. We talk about blacksmithing and especially about our schooners.
Looking at all the boats made Hank and I kind of nostalgic for the good old days when we were going to sail around the world. You know, before we were married. I had a chance to speak with Jesse Boyle, a model maker who told us how quickly he learned from a friend.
he told me, he said, well, we're only going to put the keel, the bow stand, and the transom. He said, that's it. I said, oh, come on, Beb. I said, we have a lot of time. It only took us a couple hours to do that. He says, no, he says, that's all. He said, if you want to learn, he said, that's all I'm going to show you. So, okay, so I come back home about a month later. He told me, he says, if you don't know by now, he said, you'll never learn. I went down and opened the trunk of the car, and I came out with this one. He says, I don't believe you. I said, well, there it is. I said, now believe me now.
So you jumped ahead a few lessons.
Yes, yes. Well, you see, I had it on my mind to do it.
How long would it take you to produce a model of this caliber, on an average?
I'd say right now about a month, maybe a month and a half.
And how much you selling for, Jesse?
I wouldn't say, no, sir. No, sir. I had a lot of people make off it, but I never really sold any big ones, no, sir.
Jesse also wove nets and even had time to give me a little lesson.
Go around the little finger underneath this one, and this is what you could call the mold. The mold is everything, which this is your mold here. When you pull it tight, you're going to see right here a little figure 8, then you remain pulling, and the loop is complete. And it's very easy, because you're going to say it's easy for me, because I know how. I've been doing this here since I was old enough to learn how to talk. When I first learned how to talk, my mama used to do this at night by kerosene lamp or a candle. And us kids, before we go to bed at night, we had to go and kneel down by her feet, say a prayer or two, think about the Lord, and we go to bed. And she'd be doing this here, and that's how long I've been knowing how to knit a net.
Well, I want to know, was your mom making nets, or was she just crocheting or
No, so
knitting?
she was making nets,
She was making nets.
for my daddy to use to go to work.
You know, I love looking at all the old artifacts that are in here. You know, driving up here, we saw a lot of new type of shrimp, crab boats and stuff, and the power industry has kind of really taken over the industry. But I think what Hank and I really were looking for or expecting when we came to Biloxi, we were kind of looking for the wooden ships and the iron men who sailed on.
Well, I have just the thing for you. You can take a step back in time and go sailing on one of our authentic replica Biloxi schooners. We have 2 of them. They're 65 foot in length. We offer charters 7 days a week, 12 months out of the year, and you're just in time. We'll take you sailing.
Terrific. Can I drive?
Sure.
We're going. Will you go
Wait a
with us?
minute.
Sure.
All right.
You're driving?
And you can help raise the sails.
Yeah, you do the
It's
work.
all manpower.
I'll do that. I can do that.
What a great place. Let me tell you, Jesse was super. We really did try to buy one of the boats from him, and he wouldn't sell it. And they were really super nice to us over there. They did have a couple schooners there, and maybe in another episode I will show you Hank Knapp being the captain of one of the schooners. It was pretty interesting. I got it out and I got it back. So, I mean, I probably should have had my captain's license. But that's one of the things that we do. On Cycle Fever TV Orlando, they just got done doing the Brevard Sheriff's Law Run, and I wish I had the clip, maybe I'll get it next week, of Crazy John sitting in jail, and then sitting in an old Sparky. Yeah, I don't know, I wouldn't have sat on it. I'd be afraid that there'd be a few bad spirits there. But anyhow, that's what they shot last weekend. Brittani and IT John went up to Hinton, West Virginia, and they shot a charity ride for the veterans, and maybe they'll get me some footage next week and I'll show you some of the stuff that they shot. We want to be able to showcase what's happening here in Fannin County. So as we grow and we start getting an audience here, we want people to get back to us and tell us, hey, guess what's happening next week? I got a festival, I got this going. And we'll get out there and we will film it and we will put it up on the air. Now, just so that you all know, there's 2 sides to Cycle Fever TV. We're going to call it Cycle Fever TV Florida and Cycle Fever TV North, we're going to call CFTV North so you don't get confused. So, now that I've got that much out, I'm going to throw this back to Clyde. I'm not sure what the clip is, so I'm going to sneak over here. Oh, yes, I do know. But I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to let Clyde surprise you. Clyde, take it away.
When you're ready. Hey, you're not going to believe this. I go to Lucky 13. I'm from Blue Ridge, Georgia. I met my whole family.
Everybody here is from Georgia. So I'm going to do some introducing. So we'll start over here with this young lady. Dear, what's your name?
Denninger.
Where are you from?
Dallas, Georgia.
All right. How long you been here?
2 days.
Outstanding. Have a good time?
Yeah.
Everybody that come here is a good time. Now this guy over here, we might have to push start his bike, but that's okay. So, what's your name?
Kenny Denninger,
Kenny, where you from?
Dallas, Georgia. My wife.
Oh, that's your wife?
Yeah.
Good thing you're in the same house. You live in the same house? Yeah. All right, good to hear.
She always asks, yeah, I hope so. I hear that.
You guys ride here?
Trailer.
All right, so Dallas, Georgia. I'll be all right. All right, I'm gonna move over here. Oh, look, this guy's got his lights on already. Show off. I'll get a picture of your lights in a minute. Who do we have here?
I'm Johnny.
Debbie.
Where are you guys from?
Dallas, Georgia.
Where'd my camera guy go? Oh, look at this. Dallas, Georgia. You know what? I'm good. I thought maybe they were all married together and lived in the same house, but that's all right. Ah, okay. All right. So anyhow, you guys ever come up to Blue Ridge? I gave you my card. Okay, we go live, like I said. On Tuesday night, we're going to start in Blue Ridge. We've been going for about 5 years in Orlando. So you can go up there. Don't say anything nasty about me, okay? All right, that's a good thing. All right, hope you guys ride safe. Now, where are you guys from?
My mother?
Really? Poor mama.
Yeah, God bless her soul.
So what city are you from?
Waco, Georgia.
All right, we finally found somebody that's not from Dallas.
Yeah.
So who do we have here?
Fred Markley.
Right?
I'm Nancy.
Nancy? Now, your wife? Or shouldn't we put this on the air? Okay. All right. Anyhow, get a picture of his lights going down here. He's the one that's got all the money, right? I can tell. The one leg's okay. It's the other one we worry about. All right.
The middle leg.
Yeah. Anyhow, thank you guys. I hope you have a great trip. Enjoy yourself. I don't know what you're doing tonight, but if you want to see, and they're only playing for a half hour tonight at the Indian dealership, Nova Rex. If you haven't seen them, they're nuts. They really are. And then I think they're playing tomorrow night, but I'm not going to be here tomorrow night. I'm going home. Well, if you go over to, what's the park? Anyhow, if you go to the other park, you've been down the other park, they're going to be playing tomorrow night on the main stage, yes. All right, well, I actually got to go to work now. So, thanks, guys. Safe ride. Hope you go up and watch the show.
Hey, I'm back. You know, they said Dallas, and everybody, as soon as you think Dallas, you think Dallas, Texas. But no, those are our friends from Dallas, Georgia. Had a very nice time with them. They told me they enjoyed every minute of Thunder Beach. So it was a good time. We got to do a couple bands. I did a tribute band for AC/DC, and they were wild and nuts. We did Big Engine, which was good. And we also went there to film a band that I really, really like, good friends of ours, Nova Rex. So you kind of get an idea that we do multiple things and we have a good time. This next segment, I got to tell you, I decided that we were going to try horseback riding, and I'll leave it at that. I was a little surprised at the name of my horse. The name of my horse was Shorty. I don't know if they were trying to make fun of me or the horse. But anyhow, we went to a place called Fiddler's Green. The guy that ran it was a super nice guy. He was retired from the rodeo, and you'll see how many broken bones and other things that he had. He decided that he had enough, and he was going to run a ranch. And we were lucky enough to go out and go riding. So with that, Clyde, let's see what's going on at Fiddler's Green.
Bill had this crazy idea that riding horses is just as simple as riding motorcycles. So we stopped off at Fiddler's Green Ranch in Altoona, Florida for a little comparison.
You gonna dare take us out here today?
Yes, sir. Come on, let's show you horses.
All right. Hey, wait a minute, those don't look like the horse we came in on.
This is Pansy
Pansy.
and Shorty.
Is Pansy a girl or a guy?
Girl.
I hope so.
Shorty.
How you doing, girl?
Wait a minute. Pansy and Shorty. I don't understand this. I would have thought I'd have like something like dynamite or something.
Lightning.
Like this.
Little different motorcycle, huh?
Oh, it is.
Here we go. Oh, Shorty. Hey, how come I feel it?
Stand up in your right stirrup. There you go.
This looks a lot higher than my motorcycle, Hank.
Hey, Bill.
And hey, the seat, there's no padding in it.
Now, even though Bill and I are quite the aficionados when it comes to horseback riding, we couldn't have picked a better guy. Before Randy opened the ranch a year ago with his wife Amanda, he was a professional rodeo rider and saw more bull than Bill and I could ever dish out.
I rode bulls, horses, trained horses since I was 5 years old. Pretty much been around big stock all my life. That's all I've ever done. Had about 40 broken bones somewhere in that neighborhood. Been poked through the outside of the leg with a bull horn to the inside of the leg. I've had same bone shoulder broke 7 times. So I'm pretty much retired from that now. I'm going to be in the ranching business.
Folks, if you notice,
The three amigos.
we got the three amigos, and we got Ashley bringing up the rear. Folks, you haven't seen Ashley on camera before. Ashley is my stepdaughter, and she goes almost everywhere we go because Hank pays her.
Come on, right?
At the end of the road, Randy led us into the Ocala Forest, or what's considered horse country in Central Florida.
You ever do any overnight rides?
About 3 or 4 a year. You know, it takes a long time to organize one, so we do a lot of it.
Is it tent camping, or do you bring a...
We got some cabins on the river back here we stay in.
Oh.
Fish.
I don't know if you have to haul a chuck wagon, because Hank and I aren't going if there's no chuck wagon. Randy, what's the name of the lake?
It's Crow's Foot.
Where exactly are we here?
It's called Blowdale in Ocala National Forest.
And about how far are we from Fiddler's Green?
There's 197 miles in here. We're probably an hour into the trail now. Generally, I start the tours at this spot. You know, we don't count the time from the ranch here because it's not a wooded trail, and that's what most folks want to see.
So, Randy, is it true that you got Bill the easiest horse to ride,
That's
the
true.
tallest?
That's it.
Has he got a gross weight limit on him?
It's not an elevator, Hank. It's a horse. We're just going to feed it a little bit more.
In addition to offering day trips and overnight rides, Randy also uses his property to train up-and-coming rodeo riders.
This is our barrel racing training pen. We train barrel horses and Western pleasure horses and cutting horses.
Now, you also give lessons in here,
Right.
so someone wants to learn how to do this.
Right.
Now, I'm not really big up on rodeo, but barrel racing's the female side of it, right?
Right, exactly.
It seems simple enough, so I figured I'd show him my stuff.
Wrong way, left. What did I go the wrong one?
Hey, you dyslexic, man.
Wrong way! You talked earlier about a practice bull. How does a practice bull differ from a rodeo bull?
A PBR bull will fight you when he throws you or when the ride's over. The practice bulls we use here won't. When the ride's over, that's pretty much it. You know, he'll go.
PBR for our viewers as well.
It's professional bull riding.
Hey, Randy, is this as much fun as riding motorcycles?
More fun.
More fun.
More fun.
Let me ask you something. You had a motorcycle, right? How much hated that motorcycle eating the barn when you weren't riding it? And hey, when's the last time you had to shovel out the garage?
At the end of our ride, Bill and I's better halves were telling us it was time to get back into the padded seats of our Valkyries.
Well, that was the last time I went horseback riding, but I will tell you this. There's quite a few places here in Blue Ridge and in North Georgia that have stables so you can ride. So you'll probably see me on the saddle again. Maybe I can find Bill. Maybe he'll go on there with me. But if not, I got a couple other people, maybe Clyde, maybe Mike. Clyde shaking his head no. So, oh, he's shaking his head yes. He said he'd go. So there we go. I'll run the camera. Clyde can sit over there and ride the horse. I hope he doesn't get shorty though. That's a pain in the neck, that horse. Let me tell you another quick story about that. I'm going to tell you two. One, Clyde made fun of my hat, but I still have it, so one show I'm going to be wearing that hat just for Clyde. And the other one is, Rick Serena was our director and one of our camera people. And I can't tell you how far back we were in the woods. And the cowboy said to him, "You want to ride back with me?" And Rick says, "Yeah." And Rick hands me the camera. And back then, we had one of the real big cameras. And so he hands me the camera. I'm sitting there on Shorty holding the camera. And he grabs the cowboy's arm, and the cowboy throws him up. And as soon as he got up on the back of that horse, it was the rodeo time. As a matter of fact, it threw Rick off. The cowboy's horse kicked my horse. My horse started to jump up back. I saved the camera, and then I see Rick flying off. If I could only have had the camera out, we'd have had some great footage of how not to get on a horse. And I have to laugh. The poor cowboy said, "It's never happened before." And I looked at him and I said, "Have you ever had anybody on there before?" And he goes, "Well, no." So we learned a lesson on that. But it was all fun and games. Nobody got hurt. It was a great, great experience. You know, now that I know that Clyde will go on a horse, maybe he'll, I know he'll go tubing. I can see him going tubing. He can do maybe doing a little bit of paddling and stuff. But we'll see. We're going to go out there and we're going to have a good time. We're going to showcase a lot of things that are going on here in not central Florida, I should say North Georgia. Here in North Georgia. I forget where I am sometimes. With that being said, I want to talk a little bit about what's going to happen May 12th. On May 12th, we have a job fair coming up May 12th, and it's going to be from 12 to 4 p.m. It's going to be at the University of North Georgia Blue Ridge campus. They're going to have 40 employers there. So bring your resume, dress for success. This is a chance to get a nice job, or if you want to change careers, when you got 40 employers at the same place, you can kind of pick and choose who you want to talk to. And I'm sure that if you go there, you'll walk away with an idea of what's here in Blue Ridge and in North Georgia. I don't know all of the employers, so I can only tell you, dress for success, have your resume, show up around 12 o'clock, and between 12 and 4, you can go around and meet some of the business employers. Also what happened, I shouldn't say what happened, but what I did, and I've driven by this place, I'm going to say at least 70 times, if not more, and I went to the Fannin County Historic Museum. And I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It's 411 West 1st Street in Blue Ridge. It is unbelievable. It's free. They're open on, I think it's Tuesday through Saturday. They open at 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you want to learn some history about this place, you got to go meet Danny there. He is a super, super nice guy. I actually went up and joined their group, and every day he sends out some little clip about Fannin County and surrounding areas. I've learned a lot. I didn't know that there was a Levi factory here in town, but yes, there was. So I have learned about that. They hopefully are going to do 13 segments for us, about 2 to 3 minutes long, talking about the history of Fannin County, so you can get a little bit of an update on it. And if you want, you can go to their Facebook page and take a look. I have to laugh because I went up there and I looked, and of all things, as I'm thumbing through, I see the name Travis Tripp, and I'm thinking, can't be the singer. Well, it is, and Travis, I don't know if he still does, but he owned a cabin on Lake Blue Ridge, and of all things, it was haunted. And they had some medium from New York City come down, and I guess they got rid of all the problems. But it's a 42-minute video on Travis Tripp and his experiences here in Blue Ridge. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to kind of close this down. It's our second ever video here from Fannin County in North Georgia. And the way we end our shows is join the adventure and enjoy the ride we'll see you next week.
So catch a cycle fever, don't let it slip away. We're rocking the blues, it's a bike away.